Welcome to another episode of United Talks Podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. Also please like this video so we can actually go higher up, and also comment as well so we can build a community together. So yeah, thank you so much. I've been seeing all your comments and all of that, especially on our posts and on our videos and all of that, so I don't take it for granted. I thank you for all those who have subscribed, the new subscribers. Just share this video, like it, comment and all of that. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything. We do a lot of deep dives we do a lot of features as well. There's a video that's going to come out, but I'm still working on, I'm still editing and all of that. But there's a video that's going to come out talking about, Amorim's potential replacements and all of that, just analyzing with another content creator. You will see that. And you also, see my content, like my conversation with him on the channel. So we're just going to be doing a few of these kinds of conversations, kind of deep dives, so we can actually kind of build a community and have conversations with the fan base and actually have fan debates. So thank you. So today we're going to be actually reacting to Ruben Amorim's press conference. Basically, there's the details of the conversation with Manchester United co-owner, as well as Ruben Amorim's address to the media for the Sunday evening Premier League fixture against Chelsea, on Saturday evening rather. Firstly, Sir Jim Ratcliffe was present on Thursday at Carrington with Ruben Amorim and his squad as they continued preparations for the exciting Old Trafford meeting with Chelsea. Now, Man United are seeking an immediate response to Sunday's disappointing derby defeat to Manchester City, but we also see that Ruben Amorim is a bit upbeat and excited about, especially in the part one of the press conference. So we're just going to basically dive deep into what Ruben Amorim said. This is going to go by really quick because Ruben Amorim gave some really short answers, and we'll basically just analyze those answers. So first and foremost, he was asked questions about the squad, basically like injury updates and all of that, with Matheus Cunha, with Mason Mount, with Lisandro Martinez and Diogo Dalot. And he's like, oh, Diogo Dalot is out. Definitely he's out. Mason Mount is in the squad. Matheus Cunha is also in the squad, and Lisandro Martinez is still out, and that's it. So pretty much straightforward. And I think obviously Cunha was ready to play the derby, but couldn't make it, just kind of wasn't as match fit as we expected. And if he had played in that derby, it would have been too aggressive for him. But even though I've done the match preview already for the game against Chelsea, and in truth, I didn't put Cunha in that squad. I pretty much expect him to come from the bench, but it is something we have to just kind of keep our eye out for. And hopefully Man United can actually grind out the win against Chelsea. I'm feeling a little bit more positive now that Cunha and Mount are back than I was feeling yesterday. But then it also means that Bruno Fernandes' position is also coming to question again, but that would mean he has to start the game. But it is what it is. They're back, and that's it. The question around the windows being closed since they had the chance to speak with Ruben Amorim, the question was with regards to Tyrell Malacia, because he was rumored that he was supposed to go to Turkey, but he was like, okay, what's the situation with Tyrell Malacia? And it's like, oh, he's returning to contact with teammates and the ball, so it's kind of like pretty much saying Tyrell Malacia will go and play his first couple of games at under 21 and then probably build himself back up. Maybe he'll be reintegrated into the team, but starting with the under 21 will be like the first step for him and all of that. So Tyrell Malacia is back and is going to be playing with the under 21s first before he eventually goes down, which means we have an extra body, even though I doubt if he's ever going to get a start for Man United or even feature, with Diogo Leon also waiting on the wings behind Patrick Dogu. So yeah, we're just going to keep an eye out for that and observe and see how things pan out with all of that. Then the next question was with regards to the visit of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and obviously I think that was Simon Stone asking that, oh, there's a lot going on at the club. We're led to believe that Sir Jim Ratcliffe was here yesterday, but a lot of the focus is on you. Can you just tell us what you spoke about with him? I'm like, you expect him to basically break down every detail of what they said, or even tell you what this, like, it's it's a meeting, it's closed door. If they wanted the media, they would have had the media in, but it's fine. I mean, like, they wanted to ask questions. Maybe they're trying their luck or something to see if Ruben Amorim is going to give them an answer. And Ruben Amorim was like, oh, new contract, jokingly, because you could tell he was laughing about it. He was offering me a new contract. Then he said, oh no, and everybody laughed. No, it's normal things, just to show the support and explaining that it is a long project. He said many times that this is my first season, but for me it's not. Normal things. We spoke with Omar Berrada, with Jason Wilcox, just to see all the data around the team. So normal meeting, and we have these several meetings. And Ben Jacobs came out to say that they have these several meetings, but also stated that it was a, and then I think Fabrizio Romano said it was more of a face-to-face meeting. And I'm like, when you see that news, you tend to ask yourself a question, like, face-to-face meetings that always happen every time. You hear him at press conferences saying he calls Jason Wilcox all the time, and then you say, no, he had face-to-face meetings with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. If Sir Jim Ratcliffe is not in the country, or if Sir Jim Ratcliffe is busy, he's definitely going to have, if he's not busy, he's definitely going to have face-to-face meetings with Amorim. So I'm trying to understand Fabrizio Romano's quotes about the face-to-face meetings and whatever. But the thing is, it says just normal, but people around pay attention to it. It's more like you guys will now focus, because of what's going on around the club and what's going on right now at this point in time. You guys kind of just focus, pay attention to it, because oh yeah, he's come in at this time. So yeah, it is what it is. Just one of those conversations. And then the next question was around. It was not a question; it was a follow-up to that question, because I watched the press conference and tried to analyze his responses. He says, I understand. He said, I understand. This was Simon Stone, I believe. I understand you will appreciate the support, but you also know you do have to win matches, don't you? That's a rhetorical question. If I was Ruben Amorim, maybe he was just playing the media, but if I was Ruben Amorim, I probably would answer just yes. But it is what it is. He said, oh, this is football at the club with maybe more pressure in the world. So obviously stating the big elephant in the room that Man United is a place of pressure. It's full of a lot of pressure. But we want to win. And you can say whatever, I think. So obviously, like, you can say whatever you want to say, but I think this year is very critical for the way we play. I think we're playing well until the boxes, defending and attacking. We need to be more aggressive in the boxes. So the midfield is a problem, but might not be a problem, because if we're scoring, then there is a chance that we could actually even do better in the mid. But then I'm just trying to see what he means. And then in defense, we need to defend well, because the defend well will not concede goals. So yeah, so in both boxes, so there's some sense in all of this. He says also we need to be more clinical. So we had chances, we should take our chances. The rest, I think, is also improved compared to last year. And I think we're in a better place. But again, we need to win. We lost to Arsenal and City, and here losing, especially is the beginning. Especially in the beginning after last season, is a problem. So another thing he said in this presser is pretty much kind of like, oh, you guys are focusing on a whole lot of things, but we know that we need to defend. I think we're playing better and all of that until when we get to the boxes. So it's like anything in and around the 18-yard box, it seems like we're not doing well. And then the next person asked the question was with regards to to answer the other question. Like, he knows that we need to win, so asking him, oh, you need to win some games, right? It's like indirectly telling him, oh, you better win games now or you get sacked and stuff. Like, he knows. You don't need to remind him that he needs to win games or else he'll be sacked. He knows. But it is what it is. I thought that maybe because it's the part one, I'm just making an excuse for them. But I thought maybe they'll ask him anything relating to the game and all of that. But then I'm hearing questions about, like, they even asked him questions about Garnacho. We're getting to that pretty soon. So the next thing was Amorim was asked about the City game. about what he said after the City game, that there are a lot of things that happened in the last few months that we don't know about. I mean, like that the media or people don't know about. He now said, appreciate you may not be able to say anything, but can you give some context? I'm like, he said, no, guys, you know more or less. And this is where I felt Ruben Amorim actually gave them the answers like they deserve. Like, no, guys, you know more or less because you are here for a while. So like you've been here all along, like you've seen all the managers. So and you have your sources, so it's like he's aware of the things that are going on in the media, so you know what I was talking about. But now I am focused on Chelsea. Pretty much straight up, ask me Chelsea games, ask me anything relates to Chelsea game. Because with the way they ask these questions, it becomes now, the press conference now becomes meaningless. Meanwhile, in the press conference, we want to hear what the manager is thinking, want to hear what the manager is saying, want to hear what the manager has said to the players, want to hear the mindset of the team and get the energy of the team, get some updates on injuries, just all of these things. But all we're hearing is things like, you have to win games. Can you tell us what you meant by what you said in the last, like, I remember during the time of Sir Alex Ferguson, they would ask like questions like these, but I don't know. Anyway, the follow-up question was regards to, I just wanted to ask about Chelsea, more like, following up to what you just said, speaking about Chelsea, and the returning of Alejandro Garnacho to Old Trafford, as you say, about needing a new environment. As you said, basically, that he needed a new environment when he left. What conversations did you have with him to decide what would be that would be best? I'm asking myself, how is he supposed to answer that question for a player that Man United have already sold? He's not even on loan. Like, I was not fuming, but I'm just trying to gather my thoughts together to try to understand the reasoning behind asking a question like this, like the return of Garnacho. Like, I thought maybe the direction of the question was like, the return of Garnacho and stuff. How do you feel knowing that he's going to play against you and all of that? Would he probably have a point to prove? Those kinds of things. Next thing you're asking is, what conversations did you have with him to decide what would be best? But his answer was pretty much obvious and straightforward. Alejandro Garnacho is not our player. I'm focused on our players. I'm really happy with Mason and Cunha returning, which states that Mason and Cunha are the left-sided 10s and they were the options that replaced Garnacho. Straightforward. So this is my focus, and the rest you have to talk with the Chelsea manager. Straightforward. The next one is with I think this was Jamie Jackson, because I could hear the voice. Says, you had a full week of training with the players, so I'm just wondering what you have managed to do this week and how helpful it has been. It has been to have that time with them. Like, this is, I think, the best question of the bunch of questions that were asked. Apart from all the other ones, we noticed they were short answers and stuff, but this was like the best. And the first question as well about the injuries and stuff, this was the best. He says we used the time to analyze the last game, and to analyze the next game and prepare with different things. I think that we're playing well until we reach the boxes. Like he said before, we need to be more clinical, and if you see, we need to improve shots, and with the XG and all these things are good, right? But if you do not score, then it doesn't matter. So like, it means nothing if you score, even if your XG and all those stats that states that are doing well, if those stats actually are high, then it means nothing if we're not scoring and if we do not win games as well. Then again, I said it after the last game, the way we suffered the goals, we can avoid that. So it's kind of, the goals are easily avoidable, but we are being naive. We need to be more aggressive in order to win games, right? And then he says we have to maintain to play the way we are playing, but improving in the opponent's box and in our box is also key. That's pretty much like what he's trying to mean with that statement, that we need to improve in the way in our own box and the opponent's box. And I'm sure that's pretty much what they worked on this season, this week. He says, that was the focus of the week, like he said, like I just said, and especially if you play against Chelsea, this is the team that when they cross the ball, there are so many guys in the box, and we suffered a little bit against Fulham. So set pieces are the problem, and that they have guys who can deal with set pieces, and they have guys who can also cross the ball as well. So we worked a lot during the week to be better on that. So it is always the same cycle to analyze what we did wrong in the week and improve in the next weekend. So pretty much straightforward and very brilliant question that was asked, but I think it's by Jimmy Jackson if I heard the voice correctly. And then the next question was with regards to potentially good news for Lisandro Martinez, as he posted a picture of him running out on grass. I think this is he posted it during preseason as well too, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. Running out on grass, I appreciate he's still a little way away from coming back because he has been out for so long. What might that do for him mentally? Trying to find a way where to place this question, but it's fine. You're asking questions and Amorim has to answer. So it's really important to be on grass when you have that injury. You have that time when you recover a lot of things really fast. Then there is the boring part, and it looks like you don't go to the next step. So just to create a bit of context with what Ruben Amorim says, if you've had an ACL injury before, you will know the feeling. I've had an ACL injury before, and the recovery was long. Especially for me, was more than a year. And then before I could actually fully play and even play properly without actually feeling as much pain after the games or before the games, it took me about 2 years. I got the injury and then I had surgery and all of that, and it was difficult. So he's talking about the part where, when you have that kind of injury, and Lisandro, obviously they have all these gadgets like that can help them kind of like recover quickly. But he said when you have that time to recover a lot of things really fast, so healing fast, you have that healing fast, everything is moving. Then there's the boring part where you have to now, prepare for like strengthen your knee and then get to the part where you need to start playing. But that boring part between physiotherapy, strengthening your knee, and then playing is that space in between, and that's where it looks like he's not part of the group. So it looks like and it's looking like Ruben Amorim is saying, he's looking like he's not even making the next step forward. So he said, we miss Licha a lot, especially in this moment. We miss his aggression in everything he does. We miss him, but he's always there in every meeting, in every training, and he sometimes finishes his own training and still stays to watch the training. We need Licha in this team. That's someone who, as he's injured, he's staying back, he's watching, so that he doesn't miss a thing when he comes back. Yeah, he might not have that. He might not have had or gotten his stride to even like build momentum ahead of the game, but it's a long way off. Probably it's going to be back in November or something. So that's pretty much around 11 months since the injury. So we have to just keep our eye out, and hopefully, so that's pretty much hopefully Licha comes back early. But that's pretty much everything about the press conference. Analyzed it, and overall, especially in this part one, Ruben Amorim gave a measured response, a measured answer to everything. And we can all look at it and say, you know what, like, we look forward to this game, and with the energy coming from the manager, we have to be very positive and hopeful that we eventually get to play against Chelsea and win Chelsea. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section as we build towards the game against Chelsea. The next video is probably going to come out. I'm just still working on edits and all that, and there's a whole lot going on, so many conversations and interviews and features on collaborations with other content creators. So yeah, it's really tiring, but it is what it is. We have to keep going. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. For those who have liked, shared, and subscribed, I appreciate you. I don't take it for granted. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Goodbye, and God bless.